What's up, folks? Sean the Average Angler coming at you with another great video, and today we have a trash it or fish it, but I'm also going to kind of cover a few things that I pointed you guys out to the last week or so, some of the sale items, show you some of the stuff, that kind of thing. And I've got another bargain buy on a Gancraft jointed claw 178 at 35 bucks, okay, which is quite the deal. So if you're new to the channel, you like this kind of content, hit that subscribe button down there below. And why does this fly all of a sudden have to come over here and start trying to get in my video? All right, first I want to say thank you to Ryan. I don't want to give out your last name, you know who you are. He sent me 22 jigs, I think, all different types. This is one here. I don't know. Ryan, are you going to be selling these, or is this just you tied some for me because you're a great guy? Sent me a wide assortment of different jigs. Really appreciate it. I will be giving those a go. And next, I got a whole bunch of these Dobbins jigs that, you know, I had in that sale video. And these were 3 for like $5.41. And these are, this one says it is a pack of the extreme jigs, root beer and green pumpkin. Actually pretty darn good color there. The extreme jig is the EWG. I don't know really how I feel about that yet. I'm usually kind of a round bend guy on jigs, but hey, don't knock it till you try it, right? So we're gonna give it a go. Other than that, the jig's really well made. I like the head, the line's kind of protected there in that little slot there. The weed guard, this one's a little bent. I don't really care too much about that because I'm gonna fan the darn thing out. Probably thin it out a little bit. It's a little stiffer than what I'd like for a football jig for where I'm fishing offshore. I don't really need a whole lot of protection from the weed guard. I generally like it pretty light, but that color is root beer and green pumpkin. And actually, like I said, it's quite good looking color. It looks like there's some watermelon red in there. There's something I would call root beer, and then there's some fine living rubber and brown. Pretty decent looking jig. There was a color here that I was really interested in. I think it's this one. Yes, Magic Craw. Okay, ½ ounce. This is not the extreme. So the difference between the extreme and the not extreme is the hook. With the extreme, you get the EWG. With the regular, you get a Gamakatsu round bend hook, which is what is generally more traditional in a jig. Okay, pretty stout little hook there. Good coloring in the skirt. That's called Magic Craw Swirl. Looks like the living rubber might be some sort of bluish hue. I am a little colorblind. I'm what they call red-green colorblind, so a little hard for me to tell, but it looks like it's either bluish or purplish. And then with some like watermelon and green pumpkin silicone skirt in there. Overall, pretty good. Again, you see the weed guard a little disfigured from packing 3 in a pack, but hey, for $1.75, is that about what it comes to? I think pretty good deal, pretty darn good jig. Like I said, I will use these for fun fishing, practice days, that kind of stuff. And who knows, I may end up using them all the time because they got a good Gamakatsu hook in it. Okay, that's another root beer green pumpkin in that color. This is just the standard instead of the extreme. There's a midnight blue. I'll open that up for you. These are just a good buy, guys. It's if you're a jig fishing nut like I am, you will go through a lot of jigs. It's just the way it is. And especially when I have some lesser expensive ones like this, really good looking jig there, okay? There's some purple in there, some blue in there, and black. That one is called Midnight Blue, okay? Again, that same round bend hook. This weed guard, as you can see, is not disformed from the packaging. Overall, great buy. I will continue checking those to see if some different colors come up, because that is one thing you notice on Amazon, is that prices and stuff will fluctuate between colors. If one starts selling a lot, the prices tend to go up. We get stuck with some other colors, and it keeps rotating. Okay, just so you guys see, I didn't just give out a pointer. I bought 400 yards of the 15-pound Seagar red label. That was at such a good buy at $8.50 for 200 yards. It's Seagar. I mean, it's what you expect, right? 15-pound diameter is 0.013. One general rule of thumb when you're looking at line diameters to weight range is you can take the weight. This says 0.013. As long as it's not over 0.015, you're right in the realm of average. Okay, so this is a little bit better than that. Little thinner diameter line, very good. The Ozuri Hybrid 15 I have right here is 0.16, if you see down here. So that'll just give you an idea. Okay, that was it for those buys that I got. Now I want to show you a new product from Phat Pak, and we're going to do a fish it or trash it. Okay. And just because I'm on the Phat Pak team, guys, don't mean I'm going to lie to you. Okay, I'm not. Okay, this is called the Covert Rig, right? It's a weighted jig head that's meant to be fished with, as it says on the package, continuous, here, let me just tell you, continuous retrieval style baits, like our cross minnow and our fat swimmers. Okay, I got two sizes because I'm prepping for what's coming here in my area, and that is I like to fish swim baits on the bottom and really slow. Now, one thing that is very advantageous to a hook that's weighted this way is you can fish it through really sticky stuff, a lot of rock and that kind of thing, without it hanging up. Now, my first warning on this, okay, this is a 1/2 ounce, okay? It's a pretty good, thick, weighted center there. It's got this nice spike to hold your bait. Now, one thing I will tell you that I noticed immediately, baits slide up on this smooth surface much better than the rib stuff some other companies use. The spike holds the bait really well. These are all labeled right here, 1/2 ounce. I also got 3/8. As I mentioned, what I'm doing with these is I'm fishing these swim baits anywhere from 20 to 35 foot. On the bottom, I'm essentially slow retrieving them, okay? It's kind of a winter type technique, if you will. Basically, once the water gets cold and those fish have moved out to deeper structure, I like to swim a bait like this, crawling it on the bottom. I want to be feeling everything on the bottom. And as you can see, the way that hook eye comes up, it's going to be much less prone to snagging with that weight throughout the bait here, okay? So the weight is coming back to about here in the bait. I want to point out, you see lots of sizes for the Covert Rig here. 1/16, 1/8, 3/16. If you're looking for something to fit into smaller baits, keep in mind that the more weight you add, the thicker this is getting. So if you're throwing little tiny baits, this is not going to work, okay? These heads I got are going to work. This is a 4-inch D-Walker by River to Sea, okay? It's perfect for that. This one is a 4-inch Spark Shad. Again, perfect for that, okay? I don't recommend the heavier weights for smaller baits. If you need to put a heavier weight on a smaller bait, you're going to have to use a ball head. One thing that I did come up with that I was pretty excited about, I like to fish spider grub, right? This one happens to be a Chompers. The popular model is the Yamamoto. I kind of covered the Chompers in a video not too long ago. But one problem with these football heads where I fish them is they snag a lot, right? 1/2 ounce is going to do a couple of things for me. It's also scented. It's a little slippery. Now, you can do this on pretty much any type of creature bait. You could put it on a brush hog. You could put it on a Yamamoto creature bait. That will come through snags really, really well, okay? I did a kind of a lousy job of rigging that. But one thing when you're putting these on, you need to go center and you need to go straight. Now, one problem with this slicked up, lubed up stuff, it's very difficult to get leverage on it with your fingers because it's just sliding through my fingers. So maybe the Yamamoto. All right, there we have it. So you see that hook eye, very well protected inside the bait. There's nothing there. Now, you are going to give something up with this, and that's if you're trying to use the jig to create noise by bumping into things, which, hey, sometimes that's what you want to do. You're going to give that ability up because your lead is all inside of the bait. I really need to get my hands cleaned off now because they're all garlicked up. Anyway, you can be creative with these types of heads. They work really, really well for a lot of different things. One thing, if you want it to slide a little easier, you can take some sort of scent, right? Put it on the front of that where it's entering the plastic. That will help it slide through quite a bit better. I can tell you that it slid through this D-Walker really, really well. And stuff that it slides through easier, actually easier to line up and keep straight, which this was a piece of cake. Any bigger Kitech Fat Impact shad, something like that, anything over the 4-inch mark, I would highly recommend these bigger ones. They're really good for fishing deep, getting a good feel of the bottom, and there's just something about a very slow moving swim bait in the wintertime. And I'll tell you, I prefer the swim baits that have some sort of greenish, goldish, or bronze type back. That way maybe they don't think it's just a fish or a bait. I don't really know, but I can tell you it's very effective. Here is my assessment. I've got so much stuff sitting here of the Covert Rig. Now the bigger sizes, again, it's very important to realize that it's a bigger piece of lead, so you can't use it on small baits. This will work on the bigger cross minnow, no problem. The bigger cross minnow is a fatter bodied cross minnow. However, for most forward facing stuff, if you are doing a hover rig, you're going to go with these smaller ones anyway, right? 1/16, 1/8 is most of the time. 3/16 occasionally. Those sizes will work in those baits just fine. Okay, they're a lot smaller, thinner. They'll slide in a lot easier without tearing your baits. This is a pretty hefty bait, and I knew as soon as I saw it that it wasn't going to work for my 3-inch spark shad, which I fish a lot of. It just means I have to use a ball head still. No big problem. Fat Pack has those too. All right, so it's a fish it in the right applications. And really, we just need to learn that when we're buying it. That's why I'm doing this. I'm getting it, letting you know, right? Just beware. The 1/4 through 1/2, I would suggest on bigger, fatter bodied baits. The 1/16, 1/8, 3/16 are for your hover rig type of stuff. All right. Again, thank you to Ryan. I mean, guys, he sent me all kinds of different jigs here. Really appreciate it, Ryan. I won't have to worry about anybody straightening out one of these hooks. They are good, strong hooks. Very sharp. Well tied, my friend, by the way. Thank you. And if you're selling them, Ryan, and you want me to put something out there, shoot me a message. Let me know. If you just made them just because you wanted to send me some, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I got a new email, guys. It'll be down in the description. You want to shoot me messages, any kind of thing like that. It is averageangler10@gmail.com. Believe it or not, all the Average Angler tag emails were taken. Go figure, huh? I'm Sean, the Average Angler. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.